Hello everyone, welcome back to the 30-day Mat Pilates Summer Shred Challenge. We're gonna get started with some flexion and extension, getting right into this workout. Inhale, drop that belly down. Exhale, round that spine. Make sure those shoulders are lined right over those wrists and those hips are stacked right over those knees. Deep inhale through the nose as you drop the belly down. Exhale through the mouth. Getting that spine nice and warmed up to get ready and right into this 45-minute full body workout. Push it back onto your heels and then roll those wrists out. Make sure you go in both directions. Bring those arms up and overhead, bend over to that right side. Bring those hands back in and up and then bend over to that left side, stretching that side body. Now we're gonna warm up those wrists before we get into some plank work for a warm up. So just rock back and forth, turn those palms over. Come back into that tabletop position, shoulders stacked right over those wrists, hips stacked right over those knees, tuck those toes under, and then we're going to hover those legs off the mat. Just hold it up, engage that core, make sure you're not arching through that back. Think of giving yourself a slight pelvic tuck. Breathe through it and then begin to walk your legs out into a full plank and then bring them back in. Back into that hover, knees are not touching down on the mat. Continue to walk it out. Keep that flat back. Press away from the mat. Hold that hover and then set the knees down. You can sit back into your heels again, roll those wrists out, and then let's get back onto that tabletop position. Tuck those toes back down. We're gonna pike the hips back into a downward dog and then pedal out through the heels, stretching through the calves and the hamstrings. You can feel free to take some calf raises here as well. And then we're gonna get right into hovers and then lifting back up into a downward dog. We hover the knees and then pike it back. Hover the knees back down and then pike them back up. Really rolling, flowing through this. Try not to drop those knees down. Making sure you come forward and your shoulders are stacked right back over those wrists so you're not straining your wrists. Press away from the mat. Coming back to that hover. Y'all are killing it. Stay in it. And then come into a full plank position. And then we're gonna start pike to planks, tapping the opposite hand to the opposite toe. Feel free to adjust your legs if needed, rolling all the way forward into that plank position until your shoulders are stacked over those wrists, and then pushing those hips back. You can feel free to pick up the pace here if you want to get that heart rate up a little bit higher. Continue to tap and then bring it forward. And then we're going to begin doing some mountain climbers to end. If you want to pick this up into a running pace, feel free to do so. We're going to drop off of these wrists in a moment. Keep it going, push it back into a downward dog, and then bring it back down onto your knees. Feel free to roll those wrists out again after that plank work. Then come down into a child's pose. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth as you sink a little bit deeper into that pose. Take another one here, and then we're gonna rock back forward. Now coming up into a seated position, you're going to grab your ball. Now if you don't have a ball, then you can just hold onto something and then squeeze it. But if you have a ball, bring your arms out in front of you, roll those shoulders down your back, squeeze into the ball. We're doing a full roll up. We're going down real nice and slow to start. End with your hands right up overhead. Inhale, lift that head and chest off the mat towards that ball. Exhale, round all the way forward over those toes. Inhale, articulate the spine back down onto the mat. Arms go back up overhead and then curl it back up. Try to make sure that the movement is coming from that deep core. You're not using momentum as you round forward. Make sure you round forward all the way over those toes, giving yourself a nice hamstring stretch early in this class while we work the core. Beautiful job. Maintain that press on that ball. I want to see that indentation. Keep rounding forward. If you're having a hard time and you're at home, keeping your heels down, this might be a great time to put those toes underneath a couch or something to keep those heels nice and grounded as you do these full roll-ups. Flex through those feet. It'll help you keep your heels down. Beautiful job. Stay in it, working that deep core real early on. I know it's burning. This is the last one. Set that head down. Adjust yourself on the mat and then bring those legs into a tabletop position. Bring that ball in between those knees. Now try to maintain a 90-degree angle with your legs, pointing through those toes, and we're just gonna curl it up and then curl it down. Arms are nice and wide. Elbows are not coming in too far as you curl up. As you curl forward, try to look at your core every single time versus up at the ceiling. This will help deepen that curl. Exhale as you come forward. Inhale as you drop the head back down. Now we're gonna tap those toes down. Now that you're used to that movement, hold that curl with the head. Elbows stay nice and wide. As you bring those legs down, you're just gonna tap those toes and then bring them back to 90 degrees, not bringing your legs too far into your chest so that you keep that tension in that core. Beautiful work. Keep tapping those toes down. Really squeeze into the ball with those inner thighs and then bring the legs out. We're gonna fully extend, pointed toes. Bring the knees back in and extend back out. Pressing into that ball, working those inner thighs as we work the core. Make sure your legs go all the way long. Take that bend out of the knee every single time that you extend those legs. Maintaining that head curl, looking at your core. Elbows are still nice and wide. Now we're gonna combo this. Tap the toes down and then bring them back out. Bring the knees in, tap the toes down, bring them up and then out. Again, trying not to bring your legs too close into that core. We're trying to keep that tension. If you do feel your neck straining here, feel free to drop that head for a moment and just work on these toe taps and extensions. You will still feel it. But if you can keep that head up, please keep that curl. Now we're just gonna pulse into that ball. Keep those legs long. We squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then drop it down. Rock back and forth. Give yourself a little bit of a rest, a little spinal massage. Now you're gonna adjust yourself on the mat. We're gonna get into the series of 5. Curl that head and chest off the mat. Bring both hands to the base of the right knee and then switch the legs. Switch, switch, extending your legs all the way long in front of you. Toes are pointed. Maintain that head curl. Again, curling that head up, looking at the core versus up at the ceiling. That'll deepen that core engagement. Draw that knee in and then switch. Switch, switch. Briskly brushing those legs right past each other. Y'all are killing it. Stay in it. After this, we get into double leg stretch. And we're gonna keep that head curled, extend everything long, circle those arms up and in, and then hug those knees back into the chest. Extend the arms and legs, curl those legs back in. Extend everything, exhale as everything goes long, inhale as we sweep those arms around and bring those knees into the chest. Keep that head up. Again, if your neck is straining, you can feel free to drop it, but try to challenge yourself, maintain that curl, gazing at your core, breathe through it. Stay in it. Exhale, everything goes long. Now bring those legs up to the ceiling, grab onto the ankle or calf of your right leg, pulse twice, and then switch. Switch, switch. Again here, try to maintain that head curl. If you do need to drop that head, feel free to do so. You will still feel it. But if you can, challenge yourself to bring that head back up. Switch, pulse, pulse, switch. Pulse, pulse, switch. Maintain a nice long leg. If you have a bend in those knees, make that bend very, very slight. Try to extend those legs fully. Pointing through those toes will help with that. Y'all are killing it with these scissor kicks. Keep it going. Bring those legs back up long. Bring your hands to the base of your head, elbows wide. Inhale, drop those legs to 45 degrees. Exhale, pick them back up. Inhale, drop it down. If your neck is beginning to strain, bring your hands down by your side, lower that head, and then just lift and lower the legs from there. But if you can, keep that head up. Drop it down to 45 and then bring it back up. Drop it down and then back up. Maintain that head curl. Inhale as you go down, exhale as you come up. We are almost out of this series of 5. We just have one more movement after this. Drop those knees down for a moment and then curl that head back up and then extend that left leg. Your left elbow will hit your right knee and then your right elbow will hit your left knee. And switch, and switch, and switch. Really think about curling from side to side. A little bit different than a bicycle, so you want to really think about that twist in that core. Beautiful job. Extending those legs long every single time. Extend, extend. Hold it over on that right side and pulse, pulse, pulse. Hit your elbow with that knee. Switch sides, pulse, pulse, pulse. We set it down in 3, 2, 1. Bring those knees into the chest. Beautiful job. Rock back and forth. Great job with that core work. Now we're going to rock forward and back until we come up to a seated position. And now we're going to put on those ankle weights if you do have those at home. If not, you will still feel this just as much with just that body weight. So no worries if you do not have them at home. But if you do, let's get those on. And then we're also going to put the band a couple inches above the knees. So not too high up, just a couple inches. And then we're going to grab on to that ball as well. We're going to come onto our left side on the forearm, press that right hand into the ball. And we're going to open and close those legs, a little clamshell, keeping those toes together. Keeping your upper body nice and lifted. You're not sinking down into that shoulder. Open that leg as far as you can. Breathe through it. Exhale as that leg goes up. Inhale as you drop it back down. Really press into that ball with that right hand. You don't want to just set it there. It'll help engage your core during this exercise, even though we're working into that glute. Pulse it up, pulse. Pulse from that highest point, just pulse it up. Keeping those toes connected. Breathe through it. Then just hold. Hold that leg high, see if you can get it a centimeter higher, and then drop it down. Extend those legs all the way out at a diagonal, and then let's rainbow that top leg forward and back. Keeping those hips nice and squared, you bring that toe forward and then rainbow it behind you. Make sure that work is really coming from the core and coming from that glute, so you're not rocking back and forth through the hips. Maintain a nice, stable position with your hips here. Beautiful job pointing through that toe as you rainbow. Leg is nice and extended, no bend through that knee. Keep pressing into that ball. Bring your leg over that top leg, flex that foot and pulse. Pulse it up, pulse it up, work against that band, breathe through it. I know that glute is already starting to burn. You got it. Pulse it up, then bring that knee and then drive it back. Drive that knee up and then bring it back. Foot is still flexed, still pressing into that ball and maintaining that nice position with your hips. Keep everything squared off. Beautiful work. Pressing your leg all the way back straight as it comes out and all the way in. I know you're feeling it. Keep it going. And then drop that leg back on top of the bottom one. And we're gonna pound out that side for a second. And then let's bring that top leg behind the bottom leg and we're gonna lift and lower through the inner thigh. Because we have the band on, really think about keeping that leg fully extended, pointing through those toes, because the band is actually giving us a little bit of help on this inner thigh work. So lift and lower through that bottom leg. Then begin to circle it forward. Circles, mini circles, nice and controlled. All that work coming from the inner thigh, no momentum. And then reverse the direction. Keep it going. Leg is long, pointing through that toe. Great job. And then set that bottom leg down. And pound it out again. And then we're gonna switch sides. Coming onto that right side, prop yourself on that forearm. Make sure you have a nice open upper body. Press that left hand into the ball. And then we get into those clamshells. Toes stay together, lifting that leg as high as you can against that resistance band. Burning into that left glute now. Breathe through it. Exhale as the leg comes up. Inhale as it comes back down. Exhale as it comes up. Inhale down. Beautiful job. You know what's coming. We have those pulses. Leave that leg up. Pulse, 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 pulse from the highest point. See if you can open that leg even more. Beautiful job keeping those toes together. Pulse, pulse it up. Hold. See if you can get that leg an inch higher. Press into that band. And then extend those legs long. We're going to raise that leg to hip height and then rainbow that leg forward and back. Again, really pressing into that ball with the left hand to keep everything stable. Engage that core as we work the glutes. Keep it going. Rainbow that leg forward and then back. And then forward and back. Working against that band. Now we're going to bring that top leg right over that bottom leg and then flex the foot and pulse, 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 pulse it up. Beautiful job. Stay in it, burning out that left glute. Keep pulsing. And then we're going to drive that knee into the chest and then drive it back out. Drive that knee in. And then fully extend back out. Foot is still flexed here. Bend it in and extend. Bend it in, still pressing into that ball with that left hand. Staying nice and lifted through that upper body. If you began to sink down into that right shoulder, lift yourself back up. Now we're gonna bring that top leg behind the bottom leg and then lift and lower through that inner thigh. There was a slight cut because of a camera issue, so sorry if it took a second to get in this position. Just get into it when you can. Still pressing that left hand into the ball. We lift and lower. Bottom leg is nice and pointed. We lift and lower. Beautiful work. Begin to circle that leg forward. Again, make sure your leg is nice and long, pointing through those toes because we are getting a little bit of help through the band with this inner thigh work here. And then reverse directions, little circles. Keep it going. And then drop it down. You can pound out that side. Now come up to a seated position. You can drop that ball off to the side. And then we're gonna grab onto those hand weights and get into some arm work. So you're gonna come into a lower and lift. So we're lifting and lowering through those legs, bringing those arms up and overhead, bringing those weights to touch at the top. If you do not have weights at home, just bring those hands to touch at the top. You'll still feel this burn. This burns real quick. Stay nice and lifted through the upper body, not collapsing down as you come down. Keeping those shoulders drawn down the back. Make sure they're not inching up towards those ears. Connect at the top and then bring it down. Beautiful. Keeping those arms mostly straight, if anything, just a very, very slight bend. And then drop it down. Up and down. And then bring it out to a lateral raise to the side. Sitting back into those heels, or if you want to get a little bit more into those legs, you can add a slight hover with those legs and press against that band. Lateral raises to the side. I know you're already feeling it. Those shoulders are beginning to burn. Just lift and lower. Lift it up and lower. Stay in it. Make sure you're breathing. Exhale as everything goes long. Now we're going to bring those arms by the side and lateral raise towards the front. Exhale as you lift those arms. Inhale as they come back down. Really breathe through. It'll help you stay in it. If you need to drop those weights at any point, please do so and just do body weight. You got it. Raise it up and lower. Lift and lower. Now you're going to come up to a kneeling position and begin to rotate those hands up and down, getting into those rotator cuffs. This will really help with that plank work that we did at the beginning of class. Stay in it. Breathe. Keep rotating those hands. And then meet me with your hands lifted up and then bicep curl from here. Make sure that your arms stay at that shoulder height and you're just lifting and lowering through those forearms, curling those biceps. I know it's starting to burn. Don't drop those hands yet. Curl it in, hold it at 90 and pulse. We pulse up and pulse, pulse, pulse. Great job, y'all. Stay in it. And drop it down. Shake out those shoulders. We're gonna pick those weights back up. We are not done yet. Now we're going to bring those arms out to the side, bring them in and out, maintaining a 90-degree angle. Breathe through it. Exhale as the arms come together. If you can, bring those arms all the way together or bring those weights to touch in the center. Exhale, inhale, breathe through it. Now extend those arms long into those bicep curls to the side. Extend it out and back in. Keeping those arms in line with those shoulders the entire time. Try not to drop them down. Drawing those shoulders down the back still. Keeping those shoulders relaxed, not inching up towards those ears. And then begin to get into the rotator cuffs on the side. So flip those hands up and down, and then just hold with the palms facing up. And then we drop everything down. Great job. Now we're gonna get into the triceps. We cannot forget about those. We're gonna bring those triceps up. I'm turning to the side just to show you, but you can stay exactly where you are. Kick your triceps up to the highest point and then just kick back through those forearms. Triceps stay nice and sturdy in that same position the entire time. We're just kicking it back. Bring it in and then back out. Beautiful job. I know those arms are burning. Stay in it. Lift it up and lower. And you're going to keep those arms lifted and begin to pulse up and down. You're pulsing up and down from that highest point first. So from that highest point, see if you can get those arms an inch higher every time you pulse. We have pulses in. Now bring those arms in. Use your back to help with keeping those triceps up. Squeeze that spot right between your sports bra. And then just hold those arms up. We hold, hold, hold. Drop it down. Woo, yes. Y'all are killing it. We do have to get into that back work. This is a summer shred challenge. That back has to be on point. So we're gonna have a slight bend in those arms and then bring those arms out. Little flies, but focusing on really squeezing that back. Squeeze the back, then bring it down. Squeeze the back and bring it down. No holds here. We just have to pulse after this. So stay in it. Try not to drop those arms. Keep lifting and lowering. So strong. Burning that back out. We pulse. Pulse, 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 pulse to finish. Stay in it. Breathe. Draw those shoulders down the back. Just squeeze and lower. Great job. Now we're going to do a little extra burnout with this back, with the back and the tricep. So bring your left hand to the mat. Right arm is going to be holding a weight. Bring that left leg out and extend it long behind you, and then row that right arm up. Extend, point through that left toe, and then row that arm up. Think about squeezing that back. So you're keeping your legs active, you're giving yourself a little bit of a balance challenge, but still burning out that back. We're going to combo this, extend the tricep, row it down, row up, tricep kick back. Good little combo here before we switch sides. Stay in it. Keep that leg nice and lifted, pointing through that toe, working against the band. Ooh-wee, it's starting to burn for me. Kick it back, and then set that weight off to the side. Align your right shoulder up with that right wrist, and then we're going to be rowing with that left side. I'm just turning around just to show you, but you can stay exactly where you are. Extend that right leg out, row it up, and then bring it down. Squeeze that back as hard as you can as you row up. Maintain that stability. Everything's hips are squared off. Work against that band, point through that toe, squeeze that back. Bring it up and in. You know exactly where we're going with this to burn it out. And then we tricep kick back and then bring it down. Row, kick back, bring it in and down. Bring it up, kick it back, bring it in and then down. Beautiful. Stay here, stay strong, keep that toe lifted. Stay in it. Almost done here. And drop it down. Great job. Now we're gonna set those weights off to the side. Come into that tabletop position again. Extend that right leg long behind you, point through that toe, and then we're gonna take narrow push-ups, ground that right leg into the mat, and then crunch with that left knee. Chest all the way down to the mat. See if you can get that left knee as close as you can towards that nose, pointing through that toe as you come down into that push-up. You got it. Stay in it. Now we're going to switch out those legs. Left leg goes out. We take a push-up and then crunch that right knee in this time. Nice narrow push-ups. Chest comes all the way down to the mat. Beautiful work. Stay in it. Bring that leg up nice and high every single time when you take that push-up. And then set it down. Great job. You can sit it back into a child's pose. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of a break. Sit those glutes close to those heels. And then we're gonna sit it back up. Now grab back onto those weights. Come onto your back. Keep that band on and those ankle weights. Now you're gonna raise those hands up towards the ceiling, stacking right over those shoulders. And we're gonna get into some glute bridges. So we're just lifting up and down for now, just getting comfortable here before you progress this. If you don't have weights, no worries. You can just hold something overhead or bring those arms back down by your side as well if you feel like you need that extra support with this glute work today. Make it yours, make it work for you. Grounding into those heels, lifting those hips up with control. Working against the band. Now bring that right leg up. We're gonna sweep it down and sweep it back up. As the leg goes down, we're gonna flex the foot, point that toe as we lift it back up. Flex down, point, lift up. Now if you wanna add on, you can combo with this arm. As your leg goes long, your arm goes long behind you as well. Keep those hips nice and lifted. Beautiful job. Drop that leg down. And then we're just gonna lower and lift, getting back comfortable with both legs down before we do the other side. Lift and lower. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Lift that left leg up. We lower with the flexed foot. We lift with a pointed toe. We lower with the flexed foot. And we lift with the pointed toe. Stay in it. If you took that progression on the other side, let's add in that combo with that arm. As the leg goes long in front of you, that arm goes long behind you. Bring it out and in. Drop it down. Now we're going to lift the hips up just a little bit higher and pulse, 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 pulse. Keep those weights up over those shoulders, and then we work against the band. We pulse it out, 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 maintaining that bridge at the highest point. Great job, y'all. Then we crunch that leg in. Lift that leg up and bring it in. Little marches into the chest, keeping those hips nice and stable. Try not to rock back and forth, and try not to lower those hips as you bring those knees into the chest. March it out, working against that band. I know it's starting to burn. Stay in it. We're almost done. Just pulse it up. Pulse, 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 pulse till we finish. We're almost done. We're almost going to drop those hips. Stay in it. Pulse, pulse against the band. Once again, against the band. Pulse, drop it down. Beautiful job. Hug those knees into the chest. Rock back and forth. Back and forth. Giving yourself a little spinal massage. And then rock forward and back until you come into a seated position. Now we're going to stand it up for this portion. Bring those weights to the chest. Elbows are nice and wide. Extend your right leg out. We're just going to lower and lift that leg. When you bring that leg back down, you're only tapping that toe. Little tap on that toe. Fight to keep the hips nice and squared off. Fight to keep the body centered as possible, not dumping too much into that left side. Lift and lower. Then you circle that leg around. Little rainbows. Rainbow forward and back. Rainbow that leg all the way forward and back. This is really, really good for hip and knee stability. Work into it. Now bring that leg out to the side, and we take little half rainbows here. Rainbow it back, and then bring it back forward. Rainbow it back, and then forward. Beautiful job, y'all. Stay in it. We take curtsy lunges in a moment. Now that we're comfortable with this, drop that leg all the way behind, take that curtsy lunge, and then with control, bring it back to that half rainbow. Curtsy lunge, half rainbow that leg, only touching that toe down. Bring it down and up. Great job. Keep that upper body lifted. Stay strong in this. Make sure that you get your stability before going down into that curtsy lunge to protect your knees, working against that band. And we are done. You can shake out that side, and then we have the exact same thing on the other side. So extend that left leg out this time, lift that leg and lower, only tapping that toe back down to the mat. Try your best to keep that body upright, not dumping too far into that right side. As you can see, it was super hot in the room, so it was feeling like hot Pilates to me. A little sweaty. I'm sure you are too if you're at home. Then begin to rainbow that leg and then bring it back. Rainbow it all the way forward and back. Really good for that stability. Keep it going. If you lose your balance, just stay in it. Grounding that right heel into the mat to keep everything nice and stable. And we bring it out to the side and we take those half rainbows. We're setting up for that curtsy lunge. You know what's coming. Just half rainbows. I know the body is starting to fatigue. Stay in it. Rainbow it back and forward. Great job. We take those curtsy lunges now. Bring that leg all the way up and around and bring it down. Beautiful work. Make sure that you have your stability before going down to that curtsy lunge to protect those knees. See if you can sink just an inch lower into that lunge every single time that you go down. When you bring that leg back out to that half rainbow, bring it out with so much control, just tapping that toe down. Stay strong here. And we are done. You can set those weights off to the side, sit it down, take off that band. We are finally done with her today. Now roll down onto your mat. And we're gonna do a little bit of a core burnout before we stretch. Bring those arms up towards the ceiling. Make sure they're in line with your shoulders. Now your legs are together. Now we're going to extend that right leg to a 45-degree angle, point through that toe, and then lift up until your arms are parallel with your leg, and then roll it back down with control. Arms go back up overhead. This is another really deep core exercise like those full roll-ups we did at the beginning of class. So if you're having a hard time keeping that left leg down, if you're at home, feel free to tuck that toe underneath a couch or something that can keep it nice and stable. It might really help to think about grounding that foot into the mat as you come up. Try not to use momentum. Lift it up from that core. Hold, swap those legs out, bring them to meet, and then keep that left leg out. And then we take this on this side. Really ground that right leg into the mat this time. Articulating the spine as you come back down to the mat. Breathe through it. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as you articulate that spine back down onto the mat. Core burnout to finish. Meet your right leg with your left leg and just hold, hold, hold. We're almost out of this. We drop it down in 3, 2, 1. Bring those knees into the chest. Y'all absolutely killed it today. This was not an easy 45-minute workout, so give yourself a round of applause. Take those ankle weights off if you do have them on. And we're going to get right into some stretches. Give yourself your flowers for moving your body and staying in the workout today. You absolutely killed it. We're going back into that flexion and extension, coming up into that tabletop position. We drop the belly and then we round it out. Tuck those toes under, press it back into a downward dog, pedal out through those heels. Hopefully this feels a little bit looser than you did at the beginning of class today. Bring that right leg up to the ceiling and then bring it through for a pigeon pose. Sink down as far as you can. Bring those forearms down to the mat if you can. If not, you can just stay propped up on those hands. Keep those hips nice and squared off. And then press yourself back up into that downward dog. Bring that left leg out and then thread it through. Right leg goes long. You can either come down to those forearms or just say high on those hands. Whatever is accessible to you today. Just getting a nice stretch after all that hard work. Press yourself back up and then bring that leg all the way through and then back down to me in the downward dog. Now bring it forward, drop those knees down and come to a seated position. We're gonna begin to roll those shoulders out. Roll them in one direction, nice, big, exaggerated. I know that arm work was killer today. Keep it going. And then reverse the direction. Nice, big, exaggerated shoulder rolls. And then when you're ready, bring your head out to one side. Feel free to bring your hand on top of that head to deepen that stretch and then begin to roll your head in one direction. Continue rolling that head out. And then bring it over to the other side. Let it lay there for a moment. And then begin to circle your head in the other direction. Head back center, and we are done. Clap it up for yourself. You did amazing.
Y'all absolutely killed it. Thank you so much for joining me on day 6 of this full body workout, and I hope you enjoy day 7 tomorrow.